And this is a moment where we ask you, we've set aside an hour for you, for the opposition. Opposition? Oh, you sound so weak now. Wow, but the information is too much. One lady said to me, "Man, I'm having goosebumps." You don't like the smell? I think the last time we were here was a foreshadowing, you remember? When they turned out all the stinking water over there and stick us out? Listen, people, this is your time. The opposition it's not made up of 3 persons. It's all of us, almost 300,000 of us that live on this island. And so this is your time to make your comment after hearing that. Hearing all of the presentations, ask a question. I see Kimar, I know he's getting himself refreshed to come back to be on the stage, seated on the stage. So this is your time. Who's the first person? Yes. A nice quick one. Nice quick.
Sorry. Good night, audience. Good night to Mom. Good night, thank you very much. I was listening to Kimara also, I was listening to the pastor. You see, many people in Barbados does not understand this thing called chemistry science. And you all have to really take this and consider it serious. If not the salination, that's okay with me. I don't worry about the salination because the salt will take care of all those fragments of bacterial evidence in that's in that water you're drinking, right? But when it comes to sewage, you see, it takes so much to clean sewage, to put it in the system, to put it in your body. You see, I want to say this about a fact. Most of these people in Barbados right now, they're suffering from prostate cancer. Consider where it's coming from. It's said according to the readings or according to the method they put, that it does not know where it comes from. That is not true. Check what these young people are saying here carefully. Check what you're eating and check what you're drinking. You're living in dangerous times.
Thank you so much. Thank you. He told me today he was going to be short. I saw it earlier. Yes. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Quickly. Come on, my Bajan people. This is your time. After all of that, you must have a comment.
Good night. I just want to know what steps I can take to have this bill repealed. I just want to know what to do so it can be done, not just talk about it.
Okay. Do you have a mic up there?
This country, that is not going to be so easy. You see, they have 30 seats, but it will take the population of Barbados what some people call civil disobedience. We don't want to work, we don't cooperate with them. And they can't run the country without us. And that's the only thing we can do. Because we don't have a group in the house that can say, or we're going to oppose them. Because these fellows in opposing government, nobody behind me among them will say that she's wrong. Because they're getting more money than they ever got in their lives before. Maybe want to tell them. But all the rest are paupers. They're paupers now. So they're not going to look up for their interest or do whatever she says. So it will take us, the people of Barbados, the real opposition, to stand up and say we are working. But the problem there is that unity is done through unions. And the unions have been bought and paid for. That is the problem. they gotta remove those unions. That's the first step. Let them paupers. But I can tell you, it's not gonna be easy because the government has been pumping money into PW so that they can pay their bills. Even though they don't have the membership, they get it more than what they should get the membership. The government was pumping money at them, talking about renting the labor college, for COVID victims. There's a big empty a lot. They have money in there. Yeah, so it's gonna be hard. But you're gonna be determined or not you're gonna be drinking the jobbing water and infinitum. Because if you think you're drinking it, you go in the supermarket, the restaurant, and you get a glass of juice. You know what they got, you got to do that in? Trust me, wherever you go, that's what's gonna happen. Some people might purify and some might set back. Not gonna work. We have to stop them. We have to stop them in their tracks, even if it means that we have to stop working. And you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna work and get paid. So you're gonna be saying, well, let me miss a month's pay or a few weeks pay, or a few days pay for the rest of my life. To save my life, because if you're drinking out that dirty water, you're gonna end up with a lot of diseases and you know where they come from.
Let me add this. We had a battle with Springer School about a week or two ago, correct?
Yes.
The parents and the teachers took a stand together and they had to close the school for the entire week. What is the solution? When Barbadians stand together. When we stand together. And I hear what Council says. But there is such a thing as peaceful protests. We need to protest. I have called for it on more than one occasion. Keep your children home. There's an issue to do now with children being checked out with hearing and all of that in the schools. Keep your children home. Stay home from work. You'll be surprised what a mass movement of that nature will cause. It is called disruption. That's why they had to close the school for a week. I'm not getting into that. The point I'm making is when we come together, this is what Barbadians have to do. We have to stop this. And politics in Barbados has to change. And the only people who are going to do that are not the status quo. It is you and people in the general public that will bring that change. The politicians are not going to do it because whether they know it or not, they are dealing with a global agenda that they have no control of. It is when the people, you don't see what happened in France. France changed the pension year by 1 year and had to repeal it because the people there burned France to the ground. The people did that. And everywhere, look in Australia today, Australia is having to change perspectives because the people are standing up.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any other comments, questions, recommendations? Thank you, sir.
Good night, everybody. You speak of life living in Barbados, quality of life living in Barbados, the ability to live life in Barbados, and how we would be able to do that for what we would call our betterment. And here we are speaking of food and water, which are the start to everything else. You wake up in the morning, you're hungry. You have to eat, you have to drink a cup of tea. So basically what we need to do is find our freedom in being able to feed ourselves. Clothing and shelter will follow, yes. I'd like to go back to the end of the enslavement period, where we didn't want anything except the blackness of our skin. We did not have material possessions, we had no money. Yet we built an entire country. How did we do that? We shouldn't forget, to understand anything, you need to go to the beginning. In the beginning, there was God. If we can understand the thoughts of God, as I believe Einstein said, we don't need to know anything else. We have all the answers already. But here we are speaking of life in Barbados. And I want to say this. If we learn to feed ourselves again with our backyards, with our communities, it frees us from the government. Marcia, be able to tell you that we go to Beverly Hills, Red Hills, Stone Hills, that people catch their water, and these are the hills in Jamaica overlook Kingston. That's where people live. And every house has the biggest water tanks, 3, 4, 5 water tanks. They catch their own water. St. Vincent, St. Lucia, they catch their own water. Guyana, lack of water, they catch their water off the roof. Barbados is the only place in the region that I am aware that every house we have does not have 3 or 4 tanks at every corner, and we are catching our own water. If you catch your water, if you grow your food, nobody can tell you prostrate yourself. You become your own person. Nobody owns you but you. And then if you start to cooperate within your neighborhood, within your workplace, within your school network, then you stand up and the game is over. We keep using words that are not true. We keep saying people in power. They're not in power. We are the power, they're the administration. They can be free. We can refuse.
Yes.
Nobody can make you move. And everything you have an option. And the ultimate option is the word that the 2-year-old learns. And if the 2-year-old learns it and we forget it's something wrong with us, the 2-year-old tells you no.
No.
The first word you learn the power of is no. So what are we forgetting at 50 and 60? Why are we allowing people to tell us we can't say no? The most powerful word in the world is no. Not yes, no. Fighting for what? You can look like a dog to your dead. What are you fighting for? Ah, there you go. Matter what your mom wants to for a young fellow's regulate, I will treat you like my dog. And so what? You will put me in the air conditioning kettle? That was my very last note. Any old folks? Something to think about. Feed yourselves. And together, we can do it. We did it already. Out of the enslavement period, we've done an entire country with no money. We can do it again. Let us not forget. Let us go home, and the good book says meditate. Let us meditate upon it and call, as Mugabe said, even our ancestors can rest because we have to keep calling their names. Let us ask the ancestors for guidance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What's that called? Yeah, solution. Good night now. Good night.
What I want to know is where is the God's invaders? What happened to us that we cannot stand up? Why aren't we standing up as a people, as a nation, and fighting against what they're doing to us? If they stole our Barbados jacket, what will they do to us here in Barbados? That's what I want to know.
Oh my.
Well, they stole a jacket. They also stole slave bones from a Newton to carry them to Africa, to bury those slave bones in Europe. So I don't know if they're gonna take a marriage jacket to bury in St. Lucie, where they're having their annual conference. So, but that's serious though. I know it's all funny, but we need to understand the significance behind these esoteric events. I still don't understand yet what's the whole significant thing with burying bones with the Barbados flag on top of it. And I don't understand what's the whole thing about stealing price jackets. If it's a thief, you're a thief in a jacket, you're going to thief money or goods or something that you can resell. Steal a jacket. Right? But as well, all this is we have paroles for representatives, parole-minded people for representatives. So as opposed to thinking about upliftment, wealth creation, how we can create jobs, how we can help move our people to another level, our leaders are thinking sell and borrow, scavenge the rest. We need to change that mindset.
All right, people, what are we going to do with all the information that has been given to us by Marcia and her panel? What are we as a nation, and the people of Barbados, what are we going to do? That is what I want to find out. And,
If I could just make one, you can come ahead, I won't be here. I don't think we are taking this matter with the theft of Errol Barrow's jacket seriously. And the reason I'm saying that is because if, as an administration, you cannot protect the halls of authority, how can we trust you to protect the interests of the people of this country? Listen, this is bigger than a jacket. There is no reason, if you know the parliament buildings, you can't just walk into that parliament. There are walls on two sides and steel fences and gates on the other two. And there is security, as far as I'm aware, 24/7 at Parliament. If somebody can breach the security of Parliament, then the international entities can breach the security of our country. You need to look at the bigger picture.
Hi, good night, once again. Well, I realized that my statements at the last meeting caused a stir because I heard it was on brass tacks. I didn't know a lot of business people tuned in to brass tacks as well and probably watch the show. Good night to Caswell and good night to Mark and the brother. And thanks for the information you give everyone tonight. It's very informative. But I realize in Barbados, you have to speak to Barbados in layman terms. All these big percentages and all of that, couple Barbadians money. In terms of what I said last time, I came back tonight because I said business people probably say he don't know what he's talking about, or he don't know nothing about business and the importation of goods and all these big words and what he uses. But I can make it simple for Barbadians. In terms of importation, right, I was going to do some serious research and get it from the grassroots in terms of like you buying a can of tuna from Miami or whatever. But Judy found was so busy, didn't get it wrong to do it, finishing off what I was doing. I was really sure you don't buy one can of tuna, you buy a pallet. You hear all this information about container prices going up to $10,000 a container, but they did not tell Barbadians the container doesn't only have one pallet of tuna. The valuables inside surpasses the amount of money that you're paying to ship the container. And I'm going to break it down to this. Don't let them fool you with this thing about shipping prices and all these add-ons and the fuel going up. That is one part of it. We understand that in business you come to make profit. But when I hear them keep on lamenting on shipping costs and all this here, it makes me laugh because shipping prices went down, but doesn't mean the supermarket stayed the same. Fuel prices went down, and the supermarket prices remain the same. Now there's a war in Israel, you hear prices going up again. But yeah, it's like a line. Prices aren't moving, fuel prices don't go up. When prices drop, fuel sits there. Now there's a war in Israel, it's going up again. Where is the justice for Barbadian consumers? It's not at all. No one is doing anything. It's not just to show Barbadians what is going on. Oil prices go up, food prices go up. We understand that. But when it comes down, it don't come down. So that's just straightforward common sense, but they don't tell us these things. They just lament on the things we want us to hear. And as they say, when you want to tell somebody something all the time, repetitively, believe it. But I just want to be sure on that because I'm going to do some more in-depth research on that and bring it to you all to show you from the pricing from the supermarkets. A pallet of tuna, I can't say a pallet of tuna, being shipped for X amount, and show you what you consider Barbados is going on now. Greed, corruption, and selfishness. Most business people have those three aspects of it going on in Barbados. So greed, they're also
pilfering off of us poor people. But that's enough to say on that. I just came to clear here, but you know they're watching it, they will see that I'm not a stupid person, I'm intelligent and all to them. But in terms of this water problem now, I heard Ranch talking about pumping treated water into the aquifers. And I heard some of my friends say, oh, that's good because it's going to go through the limestone. But isn't it that the limestone water already passed through the limestone into the aquifers? So there is pumping water. I can say, what is all the limestone and kill it? I saw people, if limestone kills those germs, every country has technology that they can build a limestone blockade that the water runs through. Is this so stupid to hear politicians coming to people thinking that they're not educated? A country like Barbados who say water scarce, it's true that rainfall drops and comes back, we understand that. But Barbados is limestone. I saw a documentary on one of those countries in desert. Is that the UAE or one of them? Somebody struck water beneath the desert. That water can be underneath the desert, and it spends billions of dollars to harness that water. Right now, it's supplying water to our countries. I don't have to go into the depth for which country it was. But if you do that in the desert, and Barbados has limestone, it's unbelievable to see our ministers come and say that the only solution to water shortage is sewage water. That is a slap in the face of Barbados. But a country that has water all around, these countries doesn't have lakes. They only have the desert and the country that live in. So what I'm saying is Barbados, you have to be intelligent and listen to what these people are saying. They're talking nonsense. Hybrid nonsense. So I call Kimar and panel for enlightenment on what's going on. It's up to us now to spread the word to our pages, so they don't allow your people not to tune in into what's going on and say, oh, living life day by day. So therefore people have to educate them. But then I want to be sure people, I know a lot of people want to get in. I'm going to do some more research and come back with everything to Dr. Marcia.
All right, lovely. Any comments about that, Kimar?
Yes, to touch on his cost of living point, as I said, the Minister for People Empowerment admitted on live TV that the government's compact, which is the social compact to tackle the cost of living in the private sector, it did not work because the private sector was not keeping up their end of the bargain. And he was pleading with them to do the right thing. So how can we get in a position where a government minister has to plead and beg businesses that the government has the power to control and regulate to lower prices? Again, campaign financing, regulatory markups end up into the pockets of political actors. So I say all that to say, really, we had 3 or 4 or 5 price compacts, but no, and none of them work. The price markups that these supermarkets agreed to was 12 to 15%. However, our minister, Kerry Simmons, who's not the minister for our productive sectors, said that the government is coming with a new social compact, which will be rolled out very soon. The challenge with that is that the markups went from 12 to 15%. Now it is at 15 to 18%. So the government is allowing the private sector to increase the price markups on Barbadians to the new compact that they will be bringing. And those are the words that Kerry Simmons, who's the government minister. So there ain't gonna be no relief coming for us anytime soon. As my brother rightly said, the shipping prices, the shipper container, the price has gone down. Barbados is sending out to Venezuela the petrocarb deal to get new deals, cheaper oil. So when or if the price of oil is lowered from sending on to the petrocarb deal with the Venezuelans, that should result in lower food prices in the supermarket. Because you'll be saving massive sums of foreign exchange that we had to save to the international world to buy oil. We will now have those savings in foreign exchange, and therefore those savings should and must be passed on to consumers so that Barbadians are saved from the ravages of private sector price erosion in this country. Thank you.
Let me just add a little something here, right? Because I am always angry with the government, that is nonsense with these price controls. Begging people to regulate prices through moral suasion. A bunch of moral people ain't got no moral suasion out there. Trust me, there is a piece of legislation called the Miscellaneous Controls Act. That legislation, chapter 329 of the laws of Barbados, it was passed in 1970. It gives the minister responsible for consumer affairs the right to regulate prices. He can make regulations either by giving a specific price. You can say this bottle of water cannot sell more than $5. Or you can say it can sell $2 and you can't sell it more than $2. He can do and say the markups must not be more than 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever markup he has. I work at the price control division who used to control this piece of legislation. In those days, fridges, stoves, TVs, motor cars were all price control. And you they could not charge more than 25% markup on them. They had to submit their import documents to us. We would go through them and then say, yes, you can sell, or we will reduce the prices. That law is still here, it's not being repealed. And if you fail to follow those regulations, there's a punishment of a fine of $100,000 or imprisonment for a term of 2 years. So the government got teeth to regulate prices in Barbados if they want to. They don't want to because, but Kimar rightly said, these are the same people who put the campaign finance money in these people's pocket. These are people who get them the money to buy these shirts and Mark made cares. So you really know who you care about or who they care about. The people that put money in them, they're not you. Because they can regulate prices and more by order. A simple order. But they don't want to. And you hear the merchants come and talk about that foolishness. No, some of you, the merchants stopped bringing in the items that were regulated. You remember? And then that has been on the government. So it seems every time that the Democratic Party is in power, the merchants are bringing them down. Yes. Every time. MSIL, they did it again. You see the problem? The problem is not markets or whatever, it is farm markets, it is local greed. As this gentleman rightly said, it's local greed. Everybody want to get rich on every transaction.
Correct.
They can charge a hell of a lot less.
That's right.
And live profitably. But no, they have to charge in order to give the politician something. And that is very, and this legislation is still here, it's still on the books, but nobody is using it. When we had the COVID regulations, the Prime Minister took it upon herself the power to regulate. She took this power to regulate prices on herself. She took a lot of other powers. She used all of them except the power to regulate prices. She used every one of the powers that she took to herself except the power to regulate prices. That must tell you something. You must realize who she is Prime Minister of.
Money favors money.
Right? Trust me on that.
Okay.
I want to read, if I can. We, as a government, need to have a conversation with the people of Barbados to let us decide on what is palatable for Barbadians and decide the best way forward while saving money. Abraham concluded. Had it not been for Jasmine tonight, we would not have known that repurposing bill has already been passed. So in other words, you want to have a conversation with the people after. Now understand this. Remember what the member for St. James, whatever it is, said. We were trying to hijack the child protection bill and talking foolishness, and they're going to pass the bill. In other words, all of these conversations you're traveling around the country having mean absolutely nothing. You are going to do what you're going to do. Don't give a damn what the people in Barbados have to say. And last I checked, we did not elect the WEF, the WHO, the UN, or anybody to represent the interests of these people, the citizens of this country. And if you cannot effectively do that, then do the honorable thing.
Thank you so much, thank you. Our cameraman here has a comment. As you know, he was on the program, he was one of them, this is Jonathan, who was on the program on Wednesday. We're gonna have another program, with just young people on Wednesday, right? That's what, would you like that? Yes, so we're gonna try to keep that as a regular thing. We wanna say, a big shout out to the over, 523 persons who are watching online right now. The numbers kept going up and they're from all over, those in the diaspora. We say thank you for all that you're doing, and please keep sharing this video. Share the live. Those in the UK will watch when they get up this tomorrow morning, or a few hours from now, okay? All right.
Yes, I just wanted to make a comment on what I've been hearing from the people a lot tonight, and that is what it is can we do after having this information to create a real change. And I think the same people that are here now, we are actually part of the solution. I think coming together as a community is our greatest power, because coming together as a community, once we're a community, when we make a decision, the community will move together. When we decide, okay, we're not putting our children in the schools will have to close because everyone will be moving together. So I think us as the people, rebuilding that community spirit is key for us to make a difference in terms of what is happening today. The next thing I want to comment on is that we are looking at when election time comes around, a lot of the Bajans looking at the policies that the politicians are bringing and changes they say they want to make, and we make our decisions off of that. I'm thinking that we now have to start shifting what we're looking at to who is backing the politicians, because clearly the interest that they're looking out for is the interest of those who are backing them, that's financially. And as Kazo brought to our attention, a lot of the backing that should even go off the books. So I think we need to ask for transparency in terms of who is backing them financially for their political programs. And we need to make decisions to back those who are being backed with persons aligned with our interests, persons aligned with what we want to see happen. And that was all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. I want to just make sure we understand that we are not backing any political party. Right? We are not backing any political party, and I really want us to make sure we understand that. If you notice, we will have people, we've invited people from all parties to come on, okay? Just so you know, right? Now, even when people, some of our presenters from the DLP, when they're on, they're not pushing DLP, okay? We are representing the people of Barbados. It's us. And I know it's hard for people when we're setting up, we try to explain to people as they're passing by, and it's hard for them to understand that concept. And they're looking at us funny, trying to understand it. Because we have been so, we've been schooled into that. Whether who is on the red side, the blue side, the orange side, the pink side, the green, whatever color. Right? But we're cutting away from all of that. And we're just talking about Barbados. That's where my heart is, about Barbados. That flag you see there. It's all about that. Okay? All right. Who else is coming up? Come on, guys. Wait, before you come, let me say it. Anybody else? Come on, guys. Good. We have new faces.
Hi, good night, everyone.
Good to see you again. She's very supportive, and she comes to make all the posters that we have, you know, the banners on the road, the placards in the right way.
Thank you. I'm here to ask, but as the opposition, can we take this, Roadside Parliament to another part of Barbados? Other than here, I mean, here is lovely, I enjoy the atmosphere and everything, but that's just one of my thoughts. Yes? That sound good?
Okay, let me hear from Caswell. Caswell, your thoughts on that, please.
I think we can do that eventually, but we have to develop our home. You remember, if you go to Cali Car Park, if you hear a political meeting in Cali Car Park, you know whose meeting that is? It's a Labour Party meeting. That's just stomping ground, right? They established that. We can establish here, and then we can move back, come back, go, come back. But you should move from here, go somewhere else, come back. This is our stomping ground. We have to establish this as our stomping ground. People get there. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the question. Any other comments, recommendations, questions, concerns? People looking away from me. I know he's there and waiting for somebody. You walking towards me, gentleman at the back? No? You know, this is your time, and we schedule it in such a way that you will have this time. Because it really, we don't want it to be about whoever is sitting there. It's just the last two, we had these three persons sitting there, we'll have other people sitting there, okay? You heard that the brother says that he was going to do some research and come back to us. And it was his comment that was on the radio. Okay, come on. This is another faithful one. Sometimes when we get to the mark, sometimes a couple times she's there before we get there at the Casa Manning. She's right there at Massacre Park.
Yes, have a good night. I've also heard Caswell talking about Neil, want to take Alvaro, she has to against Alvaro. I agree on that. From the time I read the papers, if they saw Borrow jacket, I said that really sent me home. Why would someone go and steal a good Borrow jacket? It literally says to me, oh, you can't sell me. There's anything else in there that it has to do with Neil against Alvaro.
Okay, I don't know if anybody has a comment about that. I don't know.
When I consider the date that was selected for Barbados to become a republic, it spoke to me of one of the greatest slaps in the face of the father of our nation. When I was a little younger, I was a very staunch Barbados Labour Party supporter. And during the 1976 general election, I campaigned against Dr. Richie Haynes in St. George North with my cousin Fred Odie. Alvaro was never my favorite, but I respect him as the father of our nation. If Trinidad, our neighbor, which is a republic, could choose one other day than independence for the Republic Day, why could we have not done likewise? What will happen is that my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren growing up in school will not know about Errol Walton Barrow because November the 30th would have been hidden on the Republic Day. And that would eradicate his history from the country just like that. I am very resentful, if I can put it that way, of the fact that we have chosen November the 30th, one of the most important days in the history of this country, to put it as a Republic Day. And anybody who could get behind that, support it, and endorse it would have to have an agenda that is not in the interest of the people of this country.
This thing about borrow, this started a good couple of years now. They knock it down. Alvaro built the NS building, they knock it down. You have Independence Square, they're gonna build Golden Square, right next to Independence Square. So they, on advice of international players, are systematically destroying what Alvaro would have given to the country in terms of his development policy. Free education, they're gonna start making you pay for things like secondary school and primary school on the MF program. Coming soon to Barbados. Let's look at Jamaica. The so that you have received, but Alvaro is the king of providing these free social services to this island. We always had conservative elements in this country who are hell bent on destroying those free social services because their intention was to keep us kind of king. So Alvaro moved us from the king field into the offices, developed these service industries, and the conservative elements in Barbados were hell bent on destroying that. Because the black population of this country was not meant to be equal to the children of the conservatives here. Our power changed that and revolutionized this country. That it was an equal playing field for all.
I know my name can change me from that. It is too hard to get in there. Alright? But let me tell you something, I agree with Freddie 100%. I remember when I was in the Senate, when this bill about the Republic Day came up. And I said then, there was a man in the city called Motley, and Barbara can get rid of him. So Barbara said, if he can't get Motley out of the city, he's going to get the city out of Motley. And he abolished local government to get rid of Motley. And then I said, and Motley's granddaughter. And by the time I said that, the president called me to order and said, I can't attribute empower borders to a member of the other place. I said, Mr. President, you let me agreement because I was going to say that she won't get power or the independence, but since you said I can't say so, I'm not going to say it. But all you do is laugh then. What we mean, everybody can see that she wants to make sure that Barrow's legacy is gone. That's revenge. You know, when her father got well into the parliament during this term, back then it was back in 1975, you know, because there was some turmoil in the Barbados Labour Party. He went to Barrow Baggy and job was for general. But even that, in met them and said, well, let me forgive Barrow for Darren, my grandfather. That is too deep-seated. Everything that Barrow has done, this woman is trying to pull down. But if you want to stand for that, that's your business, but I'm not. I will stand up. I was never Democrat Labour Party member or supporter. I've always supported Barbados Labour Party, or at least party Labour Party I was supported. I was a Barbados Labour Party member and supported for years. That's it for it. But I sat down among them and realized that sitting down among them is like sitting down in what they want to put in the water. So I had to make my exit. And they don't, because I realized they don't care about anybody. And they don't care about history. They will make it. Ask them if it is true that they had a site visit at Compton Street where the plan is they got peace in the land of Harrison College. The Ministry of Agriculture sees store and that foreign place up there, a piece of Prince Park to make a kind of Dayton Motley Memorial Park. Ask them if that is true. Ask them if that is a visit for that purpose. And then what happened after that? I don't know. But that's my information. and they don't get bad information too often. I don't know what became of that, but it started the process. So you would put that bar and put it on child, and that's about that up to her.
Okay, all right, thank you so much, no comment after that. Anybody else, who else is there? I'm gonna come to you, I want somebody else who has never spoken before. Is that a hand at the back there, no? And while you think about what you're coming to say, I am just wondering, whether this, the jacket be removed. I'm wondering if it is something spiritual. I didn't think of that this morning, but I heard the use of term, and I'm just wondering about it. I don't know. As I said, I don't know, but it's something that I'm really wondering about. I have to spend more time to pray about that. Yeah? So I don't know, I'm not saying that it is. I'm just telling you we are asking questions tonight. So I'm asking my question, and this is my comment about it. And I don't know, I'm just wondering, because I'm thinking who will buy that? Who's gonna buy that from that person? Because whoever has it, like what is it? You think you're not gonna sell it? Could mean that they want to sell it? I don't know. I'm just wondering about it, if it is a spiritual thing. Yes. So anybody else? Come, sir.
Ernest, they just want to get a lot of people jackets in the city.
This is going back to the water issues. If anyone here is familiar with this, you have to read it. Then when you see there. No, don't move it a little bit. Go back. You see a black thing there. There's a black body. High clear. You know what that is?
That's
Yes, St. Thomas man. Up to Corey Spring, Dunscombe, High clear is up to the banks. Yes, good. You're St. Thomas man. You would. Now, High clear. The significance of High clear here. High clear comes up as a name, and it looks like a black spot. But black spots on map, going to green maps, temporary bodies of water and land. I clear millions of gallons of water captured by a dilute.
Can you show it to the camera? See if they can pick it up.
When the WA was asked if they could do a similar thing to this, and I believe they were asked in connection with the water in Bath that goes to sea. And this is not the only place that water goes to sea. All the water that falls on Barbados goes to sea. Every bit of it goes to sea. I can tell you the places, crash the sand and drink water, fresh water.
correct.
Caswell mentioned fresh water, bay, which is, if you go to the submarine, it's not just fresh water bay, but you can see the difference in the water, but fresh water and salt water don't mix. You can see it coming up like ripples. So it's freshwater reef when it's in the sea. And that happens all around Barbados. Outside of that, some of these springs, as you know, push out millions of gallons. How clear is this a collection point?
That's what it's saying.
You can put collection points because how we get springs, and this is a bit of geography. Rain falls in the highland, it goes into the cisterns, but any crack in the rock, it will come up because water is 8 pounds per gallon. 1,000 gallons of water, imagine the crush weight, pushes it out of any crack in the rock. If you, the high water table areas, some of them are as close to the surface as 40 feet. I used to dig holes one time, and you drop a length of drill pipe, which is 60 feet. Before you get the one Kelly back, you find the water sink in the ground.
That's true.
So less than 60 feet in some places you get water. Some places you go over 200 feet. You have wells 200-300 feet. but not everywhere. So the water table is quite high in some places. But what I'm saying is outside of all of whatever else they tell you, desal and whatever else, you can collect fresh drinking water straight out from where it flows. And it is marked in Barbados as to where this water flows. Everything in Barbados is marked. Underground water, every trap, your house, everything in Barbados is marked. The information is known. The sad thing about what some people seem to believe is that the experts, the so-called experts, don't know. The experts know. The problem is the politicians don't know because they're not experts. Their field is politics.
Right.
Their field is not geography or hydrology. And we seem to elect people because we like them.
Lawyers.
We like them and somebody says they're this is this or this that. But they're not experts. When are we going to get to the point where we propose experts in specific fields?
Correct.
And elect them to do an administrative job? That's all a politician has to do. You elect them for 5 years, they have to perform a task, a specific task. As we just heard, which anybody would know, they've given up on the people. They're supposed to be by the people, for the people, but they're not with the people. They have given up and they have sold out to business. So the only people that there are for are business people. They're not for the people who pay them, which is us. So if they're not for us, where are we sticking with them? We have to get rid of them the same way they got rid of us. But in terms of water, I can't really speak of water, which is like the water is there. We don't have a water problem, we have a water management problem.
That's what he said.
Administrative management problem. That's it. Thank you very much.
Wow, well said.
What was we doing?
That is an interesting intervention. I took a snapshot of op-ed from the Nation newspaper today, and the headline of that op-ed was "Relieve Barbados Water Authority of Water Resource Management." In layman terms, just privatize it, get rid of the government over water. And this was an article submitted by someone named Peter Webster. And Peter Webster is arguing that he was reminded by a recent publication from the Barbados Water Authority that as a boy, he had an old parrot to lay on top of an ant's nest, and when the ant's nest started to break, all it would do is will do more and more and more rather than get up from the ant's nest. That ant's nest is what over the Barbados Water Authority. And the fact that the government was pumping money and pumping money and pumping money in the water works, but it is not working. So he's saying, and to quote him, with good management of Barbados' water resources, we could irrigate a major portion, if not all, of our arable lands. We have failed to keep our stock levels clean in order to have adequate recharge of our aquifers. Far too much water that can be captured and stored for the benefit of our people is being discharged into our coastal marine environments at capital cost in tens of millions. It is high time that the government of Barbados think about it and relieve Barbados Water Authority of the responsibility of managing all the resources which they have never done adequately. And in doing so, the WA could focus on its most important job of distributing potable water to our clean residents and visitors. That was a Peter Webster writing in today's newspaper. That's a dangerous idea. That is a dangerous idea. And we need not privatize the water authority in Barbados. Water authority had 3 or 4 different boards already. 3 or 4 different ministers. The board resigned, and their reason for resigning was that the same companies continues to be given the same contracts over and over and over. And even if they say anything about it, nothing is done about it. So corruption,
There you go.
putting people in slots, the IRA in slots, People who know nothing of water, we put them to manage our water resources. And the politicians destroy it. And now they're using the water authority as a cash cow to be laundering $18 million a month in taxpayers' money unaccounted for, while the general is telling the people of Barbados the water authority has not submitted any financial statements whatsoever. So you never know the true state of Barbados Water Authority. And they're gonna keep it that way because as you see, they can go to the IMF and ask to borrow 300 million US. They will go to the Chinese and ask for more money. They will go to the EU. So they are never going to fix the water authority because it profits them financially for the water authority to be in a deteriorating state that they can continue to rape the taxpayers' money out of that institution.
I can just add to what Kimar said. The problem at the water authority is that it's not water. It is the artful they put on the boards. Alright? That's the problem. They can, and then when a board stands up, they try to do the right thing, the minister overrules that. Because the boards are not intended to do anything, they're just trying to get a draw a stipend and then the minister can do it. Nonsense. That's why we don't need a lot of boards. We need a system that's accountable to the parliament directly. We have a water works department, or the government department, and then let the water authority become more efficient. It has never been more efficient as Barbados Water Authority. They're putting a board, and this is what they can do with a board. You can hear consult. Right now, there's a consultant water authority who's get done better. And they bring back the consultant. They pay $20,000 a month. They don't know that or not. But he knows how to drive a truck. But if that works in central government hands, he can be a consultant there. But he's an ardent, the helping supporter from St. Peter. He's a member of the National Council, the St. Peter rep for National Council. He is now a consultant, having retired as a truck driver. You see, they tell you that if you can make it anymore. That is the problem. Politics destroying everything they put their hands on. It is a kind of, I like to say all the time, it's a kind of reverse Midas. They want to control everything. So they put their minions in place. And if one minion decide to stand up and decide I have more integrity than that, I'm not voting for that. Next thing I fell upon for the board can change, the board can change, until the minister get a board that will just be around staff money and so on. That is what we need. We don't need the regulated water. We don't need regulated water. It costs a lot more. Because then you're going to put it in the hands of people who are interested in profit.
Just like later power.
Thank you so much, Caswell. One more. Opposition? You still there?
Yes.
I know when I'm asking you, people like dodging me, don't want to look at me. Anybody else, while you're thinking about that, you see all of this that's here, it costs a little bit. We thank God for, what's the name of the company I told you, I know I can't remember. You should remember, I said it a couple times. Landmark Nurseries. We thank God for him for giving us the use of these beautiful plants that's here tonight. But we still have some funds outstanding. We have to, finish paying for the sound, and we have to, the truck is here. This is somebody's truck, but we got to pay him, right? And we have to pay for the police. All right, so we're able to pay for the police, but we still have, some amounts outstanding. And so tonight, you can either see Caswell, everybody knows Mr. Franklin there, or myself, so that we want to make sure we cover everybody, so nobody take our name and take it all over the place that we do in Roadside Parliament No, the opposition are going to owe nobody nothing. All right, if it's so we will pay and I don't make the between them guys, but let me tell you, it's not easy. So we need you to, if you can help, we will take the help. And I'm just like that, very honest and let you know. The food, the barrel, we didn't get a lot this week. But last week, the 2 weeks before we came and the barrel was full and we had to take some things and just put in the car. Right, but we want you to keep that as part of the ethos, a part of what we do. When you come, you bring your ideas, right? You bring a chair and you bring something to put in the barrel because the barrel is empty. Okay, because we share that out to people. Believe it or not, by the Monday, somebody called. And they keep calling as well. It's not easy. Right? So we want to keep that as part of just how we operate, right? Just pick up something out of the cupboard. I know it's tough. Right? So we know that it's tough, but we are going to help each other. All right? As part of the doing part of this. Any more comments? If we don't have any comment, we're supposed to finish at 9. I like to keep the police happy and finish a couple minutes before. And this is, but I tell you, there's gonna come a time when, boy, I tell you, police, I love you, but there's gonna come a time. There will come a time, but they know I obey the law. But I'm telling you that sometimes there's something called, civil disobedience. And when it comes out to this water thing, I don't know how they're gonna get patrons to drink that water. The police drink the water too. But they know that they know we operate, we go in and we do things orderly. But there's a time when you're gonna have to sit down and count the cost. There's a time for everything. Because they need that bill there needs to be repeated. It can't work. They're going to put that one back. They have to put it back. You understand? We need to reach a point where there's something to say, not that. We're not doing it. And I think that is the one that did it. There's such deception, eh? I hate that. That's so, they could have come and like we're having this. Just like when we have town hall about different things, they could have had that.
But there are other solutions to the problem, and they claim their water problems. But there's another way.
We can't hear you. You want to come and say give the last comment?
We will not do the expand the desalination plants.
Desalination plant.
Why don't they expand that project and make it to be able to produce more water doing that system? I don't know much about it, but I mean, rather than go that route, rather go the other way.
They got the money for it.
They have
They have the money for it. I just like to give this.
One second, and this will be our last comment, and then we're going to close, okay?
I just want to give this one last word of advice. I would strongly recommend to every Barbadian that you go into the store and buy a water filter for your house and water filters for your pipe. Make sure
those who can afford it.
Those who can afford it. And if you can't afford it, it would not be a bad idea to request to the government, since they're handing out universal basic income, that they give you a water filter. And put it, you have some you can put on your pipe, you have some you can put on your house. I don't know a lot about it, but I understand carbon filters are some of the most efficient. The experts will tell you that. But at least the water that would travel through the system you would have a couple of backups in terms of purifying that water coming into your home. And I would strongly suggest that to you.
As I said in my presentation, I know for a fact that this is when he was Minister of Water Works, Dr. David Eswick secured financing for Barbados for desalination plants in 2017. Since 2017, we secured funding for desalination plants. When the government changed, you could put it up. Reverend Abrams came out and said that the government was probing contracts as it relates to desalination plants. And they believe that the government could save some amount of millions if they do not follow up on the desal contracts, and they partly desert contracts and destroy them and they say that they ain't going forward. All they had to do if they believe that the money was too much for the contractor was to renegotiate a price downward and come back with the desert plan, or you coming back with sewage. Right? So there are more solutions, I agree with you. Spring water, rainwater catchment areas. I saw a system where we make water with thin air. Right? So there are systems available to have clean, fresh, potable water, not sewage water. So, as you rightfully said, Marcia, they need to go back and not this at all.
The gentleman have the last word.
A lady called me the other night. She said, "You do not know me, but sometimes when we're in popular supermarket, we talk in the line." And she told me she was just speaking to her husband, because she watched the show. And she said, "You know something? If you take an NRA vaccine and you go to the bathroom, you will put some of it in the toilet. And then when you put it in the toilet, and then put the toilet water in the water, everybody can get vaccinated." I said, "Well, I didn't think of that. You think on it. That might be the reason."
Oh boy, listen, this is hot tonight. This is hot tonight. Listen, I can't thank you enough for answering the call and coming out. I'm looking at the faces of everybody here, and it's encouraging. It's encouraging. And we do this because we love Barbados. Genuinely love Barbados. God loves Barbados. You know my personal faith, so I'm going to insert God. God loves Barbados. And I am so, so happy to see you all who came out. You didn't just decide you're going to watch it at home. And I want to thank you. Give yourselves a hand. Opposition.